Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third week of this NFL season, and the undefeated Buffalo Bills take on the undefeated Miami Dolphins. Wow, Miami, good job. This is a matchup that Allen and the Bills have dominated in recent memory, going on a 7-game win streak over the last couple years, but this game will be a fun one to take a look at. But before I do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Now let's get on with the preview. Let's start things out with the Bills offense, who absolutely demolished the Titans on Monday night. Josh Allen threw for 317 yards and had 4 touchdown passes in just 3 quarters. He was utterly unstoppable, except when he handed it off to Zach Moss on 4th down, of course. Allen's favorite target on Monday night and this weekend will be Stephon Diggs. No shocker there. Diggs had 12 catches for 128 yards and hauled in 3 touchdown passes on Monday, and he looked every bit of his superstar status. Behind him were a wide variety of targets, mainly Jake Kumaro, who had 50 yards, Dawson Knox, who had 41 yards, and Isaiah McKenzie, who had 37 yards. But with Gabe Davis working his way back to full health, it's likely that he'll get a fair share of looks against the Dolphins. On the ground for the Bills will be the same trio, namely Devin Singletary, James Cook, and Zach Moss. Singletary didn't get too much playing time against Tennessee, while James Cook got his fair share of reps in garbage time. Cook especially looked better after his horror start in Week 1. This offensive group is scary, but just as scary as them is the Bills' number 1 defense. This unit shut down the Rams fairly easily, and they shut down the Titans even easier. And this was without Tre'Davious White at Oliver, Tim Settle, and Dane Jackson at times. This unit is deep, and that'll benefit them against the Dolphins' offense. On Monday night, the Bills were able to get to Ryan Tannehill only twice, with Greg Rousseau and Tremaine Edmonds each getting a sack. But where this unit did great was in the turnover department. Jordan Poyer had his 2nd interception of the season, and Matt Milano got a pick 6. Yeah, let's just say the Bills' defense has playmakers at every spot here. Cornerback Christian Benford looked really good in shutting down Tannehill's throws to Treylon Burks, and Jordan Phillips plus old friend Shaq Lawson were able to completely kill Derrick Henry's rushing abilities. Phillips and Lawson and Daquan Jones were also good that Derrick Henry only averaged 1.9 yards per carry, which is obviously great. Only small concern here for the Bills defense is that Dane Jackson went down with a serious injury on Monday night, so they'll have to watch out for their rookie cornerbacks against the speedy Miami Dolphins offense. Tua and this unit had their breakout game this past week against the Baltimore Ravens, but it didn't look like that would be the case until the 4th quarter, as beforehand the Fins were down by 3 touchdowns. At the end of the day, though, Tua finished the game with a whopping 469 passing yards and 6 touchdown passes. That included the game-winning touchdown pass with 18 seconds to go. Tua was incredibly good, and this game could be the game that shuts down his very loud doubters around the league. He'd be shutting them down just like how Josh Allen did it, and good for him. Tua was definitely aided in this game by his 2 top wide receivers, namely Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Hill had 190 reception yards, and Jalen Waddle had 171 of his own. Each of them were incredible in their own right, but together, holy, this offense is scary. Tight end Mike Gesicki always plays well against the Bills too, and last week he had 41 yards from 4 catches. In the running department, it will be the Raheem Mostert show, as he had the majority of carries over the first 2 games. Chess Edmonds was also a good complementary back, and never count Tyreek Hill out on running the ball too. Miami will hope their offense will continue their great play, but the Dolphins defense, who will look to tighten things up against the Bills. Much like the offense, the Fins defense played 2 separate games on Sunday, the first half in which they gave up 28 points, and the second half where they only gave up 10. That lockdown came mainly because of their elite secondary, which is led by Xavier Howard and Nick Needham. Their safeties are always really good, with them being Brandon Jones and Javon Holland. The Dolphins defensive line is usually pretty good too, but like in Week 1. But against Lamar Jackson, they were absolutely torched. Lamar Jackson ran for 119 yards, and Rashad Bateman had 108 reception yards. And at the end of the day, this unit gave up 38 points in 1 game. But if anybody is to fix this, it's Emmanuel Ogbah and Christian Wilkins. Melvin Ingram also looked to rebound to his Week 1 form, as will linebacker Jerome Baker. This entire unit should play better this weekend than they did against Baltimore, but Josh Allen and the Bills offense will have other ideas. So, with all of that out of the way, here's what our BSC panel plus a Dolphins fan is predicting for this pivotal Week 3 matchup.
Play number 9 on the drive. Allen over the middle.